Hello, my name is Sally. Today I'm going to show you how to get lovely skin and makeup for the summer. Okay, so as you can see, I have absolutely nothing on my face. It's really good to have a clean slate before you put on any makeup. So what I have done is I have already used the Perfectly Clean daily cleansing lotion to really make sure that I have no residue at all of any kind of oils or SPF or makeup from the day before. And what I do is I just use a light cleanse in the morning. I take my cleanser off actually with a flannel and very warm water, which also gives me a little bit of exfoliation. So I've cleansed my face. What I'm now going to do is to use the Hydration Hold Serum. This is a really lovely serum that actually has hyaluronic acid in it. Hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times its weight in moisture. So I'm going to get a couple of drops and I'm just going to pop this all over my skin. This is a wonderful product to use before moisturizer. I use it morning and night. It's really easy to pop on. So I've put that on before using my day cream. It's called Smooth the Face Day Cream. It's got vitamins A, C, E and F. And again, it's a really light texture. So I'm just going to pop it on. It's got a sun protection factor. I'm going to smooth that in all over. You can use it on your neck as well and just let that settle in. As you can see, I didn't use and need very much. So what I'm going to do now, before I move on to the makeup, I'm actually going to brush my teeth, comb my hair, do something else, but let the moisturizer sink in to my skin just for a few minutes, so that when I put my primer and my makeup on, this is already sunk in. Okay, so I've waited a few minutes and now I'm actually going to start on the makeup. So the first product I'm going to use is Smooth Like Silk Face Prime. This is a brilliant product to use all year round, but particularly in the summer. I'm using about this much because it will do two things. It will help to just create a wonderful base for your foundation or your Light Look Beauty Balm, which is what I'm going to use today. And what that does is it fills in any fine lines and creates a lovely smooth base, much like a painter or decorator would use a primer before putting paint on the wall. So it does that. And secondly, it will then keep your makeup on all day, however hot the weather is. So this is a really nice product to use first. So I pop that all over my face. And today I'm going to use our hero product for the summer, which is Light Look Beauty Balm. This is a product that I actually like to use all year, but in the winter, what I often do is mix it with my Continuous Cover foundation. In the summer, this is a product that's a little bit more coverage than a tinted moisturizer. So it gives you that little bit more coverage, but it's not quite as heavy as a thicker foundation. So I'm going to put a little bit on my hand. I'm actually going to use the number 1 today because I've got a little bit of colour. You can either pop it on with your fingers or you can use the foundation brush, which is what I'm going to use today. So I'm going to put it all over to start with, sort of on my T-zone, and then I'm just going to blend it with the brush. This gives you a very natural, just a glow really, without it looking heavy. And I am a bit of a tennis player, so actually I even wear this when I'm playing tennis, and it doesn't feel heavy and it just protects my skin and makes it look even. If you feel like you need a little bit more coverage, you can always also mix it like I do sometimes in the winter with a little bit of Continuous Cover foundation, but for the summer you might find it's just lovely to use on its own. What I then do is just to take my clean fingers, and just make sure everything is blended in well. So what I'm now going to do is to use my concealer. So this is concealer number 02, and I'm going to use my concealer brush, which is a really nice product. And I'm going to use this anywhere where I just need a little bit more extra help to cover up. So I'm going to put it just on the inner sort of V of my eyes where it's a little bit bluey. I'm also going to put it just in the sort of dark circles underneath my eyes. I sometimes find in the summer I get a little bit of hay fever, and I often get a little bit more bluiness and a bit more puffy areas as well. So concealer is really helpful. So I'm then patting it in, as you can see, with my ring finger. So the other places I might use it are on any little sunspots, age spots. And I put a little bit just around my nose area, sometimes where there's a few broken capillaries. So I'm just blending that in. Now, in the summer, when you are creating a perfect summer skin, you might find if the weather is hot that you glow a little bit. So a really good thing to help to keep your makeup on is to use translucent powder. So a fine translucent powder, our translucent powder is beautifully fine, is wonderful for not sitting in any fine lines that you might have. So I'm going to use this with a slightly smaller brush. I'm going to actually use just under my eyes. I'm going to use this brush just to stop that, hold my concealer in place, any little areas where I've concealed. The other thing you can do is, if you want to, is just take a little bit on a big brush and just sweep it over. And this will stop you looking too shiny, and it will just make your makeup last really well in the heat. It's a good thing just to have in your bag with you as well, so you can just go over your makeup if it gets really hot. So the next thing I'm going to use is Smooth Out Eye Prime. This is wonderful to use all year round, but again, in the heat of the summer, your eyeshadow might crease a little bit. So this product will just stop that from happening. So I'm just going to put a little bit onto my eyelids. And again, with concealer brush number 4, I'm just going to blend it across my lids. This will take out any uneven discoloration that you also have on your eyelids, but it will also keep your eyeshadow from creasing throughout the day. So I'm just tapping it in now with my ring finger again. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the lip primer at this stage because it will give it time to dry. So I'm going to put a little bit of lip primer, which is this product, on the outer edges of my lips. When I put my lipstick on, it will last and it won't feather and bleed. I'm going to just do a very simple eye makeup today, and I'm going to use Terracotta, which is a really nice shade. So I am going to put that on all over my lids. It's a nice warm shade, very similar to a bronzer really. And I'm going to put it on my lid, and because it's a nice warm colour, it will make the whites of my eyes hopefully look a little bit whiter. Now in the summer I find that my lashes get really fair and you can't see them at all. So I am going to use a little bit of eyeliner, and I'm going to pop the eyeliner on my top lashes, just above the top lashes. I'm going to go for something a little bit darker. I am going to use Chocolate, which is this colour. And I'm going to use Chocolate above, which will make the base of my lashes look a little bit thicker. So I'm going to use a number 8 wedge brush. Just take off the excess. And I'm just going to roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect, put it as close to the lashes as I can. I go from out to in to create an effect of fullness and give a little bit of definition to my lashes. So that's one, and then this eye I find more difficult, so I'm going to hold it, pinch it to my nose, which allows it to have a nice smooth area rather than being wrinkled. Don't do it like that, sort of pinch it inwards so that you get, what you want is it to be slightly winged up at the edge, which also will just lift your eye if you suffer from slightly hooded eyes. Because I wanted just a light summer look, I'm actually going to use a slightly lighter colour underneath. You don't need to use any eyeliner underneath, but I'm actually going to use just a little bit of Cocoa, which is another warm colour, using the same effect, but again, just under the lashes, about halfway across. And that will just define my eyes a little bit more, ready for mascara. So I am going to use some eyelash curlers very quickly, I'm going to hold that on for about 10 seconds, slightly less today, just for the purpose of the demonstration, but I would do it for about 10 seconds just to lift the lashes. And I'm going to use our Lithe Lash Mascara and the waterproof one. Wiggle that through my lashes, which should hopefully open up my eyes. And this, as I said, for me is an essential part of my summer makeup. Just to, even if I wasn't going to wear any kind of eyeshadow, I would definitely be putting my mascara on. Even though this is a waterproof mascara, you can build it up. So you can have many layers if you want a little bit of a stronger look, but it won't ever look cloggy. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of our Bring Back Brow shape onto my brows now. I'm going to shake it. This is the brown one. And I'm just going to use the spoolie brush just to brush my brows. Just take off the excess on my hand and just fill in any areas that you might need filling in. Because this is a lovely waterproof product, it's wonderful for the summer. It won't move once it's on. I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to use my spoolie brush again just to soften the effect. Blend. So that it shouldn't look harsh at all. Okay, I'm now going to use Instant Bright Highlight Magic Pen. I love this product, and it's a clicky pen, just take a little bit off, put a little bit underneath my brows. It's a light colour, light brings forward. I'm just using my finger to blend it. I'm also going to put a little bit just on my cheekbone area and just pat that in. Just gives a lovely luminescence without looking too shimmery, which you don't want too much shimmer in the summer. Okay, nearly there. I'm going to now use a really nice product, which is our Peach Cream Blush. So I've got the large one today. Now you do it in small and large. So this is a cream to powder formulation. So I'm going to smile, I'm going to look at where the center of my eye is, and I'm just going to pop on just a wash of colour, which hopefully you'll see will just bring my face to life a little bit more. It's a really, really lovely formulation because it's a cream that then turns into a powder, but it's not powdery, so it doesn't cake in the heat. And because it's not just a cream, it doesn't just sink in. It has the best of both. I tend to put it on with my finger and just sweep it up, so it's sort of creating a bit of a teardrop effect. And I'm then going to use a blusher brush just to blend it in a little bit. Finally, before lips, I'm going to use bronzer. Bronzer is this is our bronzer. It's a wonderful summer product to use. And it just gives you a little bit of a sun-kissed look. So I'm going to use my big powder brush, number one, and put it where I would naturally get a bit sun-kissed if I was out in the sun. So just on the top of my forehead, and I'm going to also bring a little bit just to the top of my cheekbones, a little bit on the bottom of my nose. The other place that it's really good to put is just on the lightest part of your neck, this is the bit that doesn't tend to see the sun very much. So I tend to do it like that. You can also sort of swirl it a number number 3 shape if you want to. It's a very gentle product. It doesn't come out orange at all, so you don't need very much, but it will just give you a little bit of warmth that looks really nice in the summer. Now I'm going to finish off by using a nice summery lipstick colour. I'm going to use Coral, which I love. In the summer light, it's really nice to have a vibrant colour. I am quite warm toned, so I'm using True Coral. And a little trick that you can do is to blot it and then put a little bit of your loose translucent powder actually over your lipstick, either through a tissue or directly on. Let's put a little bit directly on today. And then put a second layer on, and you'll find it lasts really well if you do that. So a little bit more. If you want to, you can add a tiny bit of gloss. I'm using one of our Lip Shines in Cinnamon Kiss, just in the centre. Now I'm going to remove my clips and take my hair out. And there we have a summer makeup using Look Fabulous Forever's makeup range. Thank you.